For the last year or so, we've all been getting pretty good at one thing, talking to AI, right? But what happens when the AI starts talking back? Not just to us, but to other AIs. That's what we're digging into today. This is a huge shift, moving way beyond just writing a good prompt to actually designing entire AI strategies.
I mean, the whole conversation around AI is just moving at a wild pace, isn't it? What used to be this game of just finding the perfect words to get the right answer, that's becoming something way, way bigger. We are literally moving from just learning a new skill to embracing a completely new way of getting things done.
So here's a way to think about it. We can pretty much call 2024 the year of the prompt, right? Everybody, artists, analysts, you name it, was trying to become a master prompt engineer. Well, get ready, because 2025 is shaping up to be the age of the agent. And this is where things get really interesting. This is where the real power gets unlocked.
Okay, so what in the world are we even talking about when we say agent? It's a really important question because let's be clear, we're not just talking about a slightly smarter chatbot here. This isn't just a more helpful Siri. No, this is a massive, fundamental leap forward in what AI is capable of.
All right, here it is, the core definition. An AI agent is a system that can plan, it can reason, it can use tools, and it can even collaborate with other agents to hit a goal. But the key word, the absolute game changer here, is autonomously. Think about it like this. You don't tell it every single turn to take. You just give it an address. It's the agent's job to figure out how to design the car, build it, and then drive itself there.
And that autonomy, it doesn't just happen. It's built on these 4 core abilities. So it's not just spitting back an answer to a question. It's about planning, laying out a whole complex task from A to Z. And hey, if it hits a roadblock, it can actually reason its way through the problem and figure out a new route. It's not stuck with what it knows either. It can use external tools, go out and search the web, pull data from an API, you get the idea. And the really powerful part, it can work with other agents, which turns a one-person job into a full-blown team project.
Okay, so this is where we get to the main event. Because if you actually want to build one of these agents, you can't just wing it. You can't just throw some code together and hope for the best. You need a blueprint. You need a strategy. And that's where these things called agent frameworks come into play. And trust me, as you're about to see, they are definitely not all created equal. So let's take a quick look at the major players. You've got 4 big ones here, and each one has a totally different idea of how to get the job done. You've got LangChain, which is all about building flexible, single agents that use tools. LangGraph takes that up a notch, adding more of a workflow. Then you get into the team-based stuff. Autogen is like a creative free-for-all, and CrewAI is more like a structured company. To really get a handle on this, we're going to focus on the big strategic choice. Are you building a solo agent, like with LangChain, or are you building a team, like with CrewAI or Autogen?
So let's start with LangChain. The best way to think about this one is as the foundation for a single, brilliant specialist. It's like you're handing an AI a Swiss Army knife, a really, really good one. It can pull out a calculator, a web browser, connect to an API, whatever tool it needs to solve a problem completely on its own. It is the ultimate independent worker.
Now, CrewAI, it's a whole different ballgame. Forget the single brilliant agent. Here, the whole point is to build an entire team. You actually create an AI crew and give them specific roles. You might have a researcher agent, a writer agent, a critic agent, and you set up clear lines of who reports to who. It's literally like building a company org chart, but for AIs. It's all about structured top-down delegation.
And if CrewAI is that buttoned-up, structured corporation, then Autogen is the messy, chaotic, but absolutely brilliant creative meeting. In this model, the agents are all peers. They're sitting around a table, brainstorming, debating, even arguing with each other to come up with a solution. Yeah, it's way less predictable, but that chaos, that's where you can get some seriously breakthrough ideas.
Okay, so solo agent, structured team, creative roundtable. Why does any of this matter? Why get so deep in the weeds? Well, because picking a framework isn't just some technical detail you can pass off to the dev team. This is
And I'm not exaggerating, one of the most critical, strategic decisions a leader can make when they're building out an AI system.
And this quote from our source material really just nails it. It puts it in the plainest terms possible. The stakes here are just incredibly high. Getting this choice right, picking the right philosophy from the get-go, can save you weeks of work. But getting it wrong, you could be looking at months of wasted effort, stuck in what feels like development hell. So when you strip it all away, this really complex decision comes down to two basic paths. Just two. On one hand, you have solo intelligence. You're betting on one single, brilliant agent to figure everything out. On the other hand, you have a coordinated strategy. You're building a team of specialists that have to work together in a structured way to get the job done.
So how do you choose? Which path is right for you? Well, it all starts by asking the right questions. In fact, there are really two core questions that every single leader needs to ask themselves before anyone on their team writes a single line of code.
First up, what kind of thinking does your system actually need to do? I mean, really think about the problem you're trying to solve. Is it a straightforward, linear task that just needs a super focused, brilliant problem solver to knock it out? Or is it a messy, complex challenge that could really use a few different perspectives? Something that needs a debate or a brainstorm? Because the nature of that task should dictate the entire structure of your agent system.
And that first question leads you right here to the second one, which really gets to the heart of the matter. So what do you need? Do you need that lone genius, the solo intelligence model? Or do you need the coordinated strategy of a whole team? Your answer to that question, it points you directly to the right framework, the right philosophy for your project.
So here's the big takeaway from all of this. We really have to move past thinking of AI as just another tool, like a calculator or a spreadsheet. We need to start thinking of it as a collaborator, something we hire. And as you're planning and building out your teams for the future, you have to wrap your head around a pretty wild idea. Your next, and maybe even your most valuable team member, might not be human at all.